Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sabrina and today we are back with another high protein Ninja Creami recipe. And today the star ingredient is cherries. So we're gonna make a cherry frozen yogurt that is 30 grams of protein for the entire tub and only 250 calories. So let's get into this super simple recipe. Before we do, if you enjoy this video, please feel free to give it a like and subscribe to my channel. All right, so I am making this recipe in what I call cheater mode, which basically is going to prevent me from having to take out my blender, but still get to break down these cherry chunks. So what I like to do when I'm using fresh fruit, and I just don't feel like using the blender, is I will add a little bit of sweetener, and this is just optional if you choose. I'm using some Truvia brown sugar. I think it goes well with the cherries, and I just put a little bit on top of the cherries. And then all I'm gonna do is put this in the microwave for about 30 seconds, and then I'm just gonna mash up the fruit a little bit, and that way it'll be easier for the Ninja to process. So I'm gonna do this step first. And in here I have about 115 grams of fresh cherries, so that's gonna be about 3/4 of a cup. And I am using fresh, but if you wanted to use frozen, that is totally fine. I would just recommend blending everything together in a blender instead of doing this method. It works a little bit better for fresh fruit this way, but I'm going to go ahead and pop this in the microwave. All right, so here are my cherries out from the microwave, and what I like to do now is just give them a mash with my fork. You can see they're really soft and tender, and so this is an easy way to just break down your fruit without necessarily busting out the blender, which, you know, no issue doing it that way either. I just wanted to do something really simple, and to me this feels a little bit easier. Okay, great. We have our mashed up cherries, and now we're going to go ahead and get the other ingredients into our Ninja Creami pint. I'll let that continue to cool for a few more minutes. So we're going to start with our liquid, and I am using this lactose-free 2% reduced fat milk. And the reason we like this milk is because it tends to have a little bit less sugar and more protein, which of course is great for a macro-friendly lifestyle. And today we're going to be using 1/3 cup of this milk, and so that's about 80 milliliters if you like to measure it out. Okay, now we need to add the yogurt component, and I am using non-fat plain Greek yogurt. And again, that's going to be really great for your macros. It's going to be lower in sugar, higher in protein. You can use whatever brand you like. I have the Aldi brand here. All right, and we're just using 100 grams. And the final ingredient is going to be your protein powder of choice. I really like PE Science, and they do a gourmet vanilla. I do recommend a vanilla for this recipe unless you happen to have a cherry flavored protein, which is cool. But you can use whatever brand you like. We're going to be using 20 grams, which is about 2/3 of a scoop. And I know these are kind of precise measurements, but what I like to do is think about what I want to get in each pint. And so for this one, I thought about 250 calories, 30 grams of protein. That's what I'm aiming for. And so that's going to be 20 grams of protein. All right, so all that's left to do is now take our cherries, add them to the pot, and stir everything together. All right, so there you have it. That's your base. It's just 4 ingredients, optional sweetener of choice, your protein powder, yogurt, milk, and cherries. And I really, really do like this recipe. I feel like I don't get to have something that's just so full of fresh cherries that often, and now I can have it in a way that fits into my lifestyle so easily and is going to be a great high protein treat. So anyways, I'm just really excited about this, but I'm going to have to wait until tomorrow because I'm going to pop this into the freezer, and I will see you in 24 hours. All right, we are back to spin up our cherry frozen yogurt. It's been 24 hours, and as always, I like to leave my pint on the counter for 5 to 10 minutes and run it under some hot water. So now we just got it into our system. Gonna turn this on, and we're gonna spin it on light ice cream. Okay, this is how it's looking after one spin, pretty much as expected. At this stage, I like to add a little bit of milk, so I'm just doing a bit of almond milk here. And then I like to go around with my little spatula and just scrape down the edges. You can see this is getting close already, so I'm sure we're just gonna need one more spin. We're just gonna give it a respin. All right, it just came out after one more respin, and look how smooth and delicious and creamy that is. Oh my goodness, this is perfect. So let me get it into my signature bowl, but man, can't wait to tuck in. All right, so here is the beauty. She's already starting to melt, so I need to go and eat this. I really hope you give this one a try. It is such a fun way to use up fresh cherries, so of course frozen cherries will work as well. It's a really great flavor, and I hope you enjoy it. All right, guys, I'm gonna go eat this. I'll see you at my next video.